All praises to Yahawah. All praises to Yahawah. All praises for Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops for Great Millstone that have been and continue to teach the true gospel. Salute to the Akim, spreading the true gospel on the streets and lanes of the city, on the highways and hedges, and on the World Wide Web. Much love to YAHAWAH, who learn science with all subjection and are in righteous order under the men of YAHAWAH. This is the Brother Raza from the Church of Philadelphia Camp. And hey, the Lord just put my spirit, to go into the glory, and that's the glory of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, because he's given certain men his glory, you know, he's given men uh the opportunity to be in his bosom, right? To understand what that marvelous light is. And that's the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures, you know? And hey, and at the end of the day, is we've been predestinated, to magnify and glorify the name of Yahweh Bashem Shai and praise the name of Yahweh Bashem Shai. And it's more evident now who we are, particularly if you're a man of the Lord. You got that spiritual eye solve. You see what's going on in this world. You can understand the times that we're in, but you can actually see the foolishness that's happening in this world today and what this world, this kingdom is promoting, which is utter wickedness. And they promote it, they praise it as if it's something to be celebrated. That's how we know as men of the Lord the wickedness of this place and the abominations thereof that are here, that we have to look at, that we have to listen to and be subjected to. Because we want to be separate. We're a holy people. We don't want to even look at this madness and wickedness that's happening here on this earth. And here you have it. The things that we say, according to the scriptures, are looked at as madness and are looked at it as evil. It's like this place is upside down, turned upside down. It's inside out, right? It's wrong, not right. That's what this place is. And it's everywhere we go. We can't escape it. As men of the Lord, being in this world, you can't escape it. And it's draining because we want to stay in these scriptures, you know? But Esau got us working 10, 15 hours a day, being occupied in his foolishness and nonsense with whatever so-called job we got. But the Lord is going to fix that for us, and he's putting his marvelous light on the men of the Lord, where people know there's a difference with us, you know? But enough of me babbling on. This is, Ephesians, chapter 1, where Paul was writing to the church of Ephesus, right? It says, it says, well, go to 15, start there. This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 15. It says, wherefore I also, after I heard of your faith in the Lord Yahushai and love unto all the saints. So he gave props to the church of Ephesus, talking about their faith and the love for the saints. Salakia, and it says, cease not to give thanks for you, making mention of you in my prayers. And that's what we're supposed to do now. Pray for one another, right? Daily. And don't forget, hey, when you wake up before you go out or while you're out, hey, start out with a prayer. And I got to do better myself to make sure I don't forget, you know, because it's not just sufficient just one prayer. Hey, you can pray all day, actually. You know, keep your mind occupied in the faith, you know, in the fear of Yahweh Bashim Shai. It says that the power of our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, the Father of glory, may give unto you the spirit of wisdom and revelation in the knowledge of him. The Father of glory may give unto you the spirit of wisdom. What's that wisdom? Truly understanding the word. Truly understanding the law, statutes, and commandments. Truly understanding whom we are. Who we are and whom we are. The Israelites. The children of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So with that, we have to govern ourselves accordingly. And be able to take whatever comes with it. Because there's going to be a great tribulation on the men of the Lord. And there already is. But it's going to be even greater. Greater wrath, because the devil knoweth he hath but a short time. Because Yahweh Bashim Mashah has put his men out there to preach his word. And that's how this is the truth, because this devil is so mad that this word is going out as if we have to agree with him. No, we're not agreeing with you. We don't want nothing to do with you, but we damn sure ain't agreeing with you. We agree with what the scriptures say, not a creature, not a simple-minded evil creature at that. Who does everything contrary to the word of Yahweh Bashim Shai. No, we want to fight for our penny. We want that glory bestowed upon us. That's what we worried about. We ain't worried about you, Esau, Edom, or the other heathen nations. With your little scary self. Because you the scary one. Trying to scare somebody, but you the scary one. This is about having the glory of Yahweh Bashim Shai being put upon us. It says, the eyes of your understanding being enlightened, that ye may know what is the hope of his calling. Yeah, and that hope is our salvation. And what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints. There goes that word glory. Yeah, so we're not worried about what's going on in this wicked kingdom. We want that translation of riches to the Israelites in the kingdom. And that's a kingdom that's going to last forever and ever and ever. So we're going to have the power. And what does it say? That people shall be willing in the day of thy power. Yeah. We're going to be the celebrities, the famous men, right? While we're getting mocked and scoffed at right now. Yeah, we're getting laughed at right now. But hey, laugh now, cry later. And we're going to see who gets the last laugh. And we know who's going to get the last laugh, and that's the men of Yahweh Bashim Shai. It says the eyes of your understanding being enlightened. Yeah, because the Lord has given us that glory so we can be enlightened, that ye may know what is the hope of his calling. And that's what we got. Hope and faith in Yahweh Bashim Shai. Because we can't do it. That's why people are going to be shocked at the strangeness of our salvation. It says, and what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints. And what is the exceeding greatness of his power to usward who believe, according to the working of his mighty power? Yeah, to usward who believe. And at this time, it's the elect. Because this is, you going to find it hard pressed for Jake to believe in this word. That's how we know it's something that has been given. It's not something that you can just work your own thing. It's a spiritual gift that's been given that no matter what you even try to do, you can't shake it off. You know? Hmm. So, hey, you know, we out here, right? Doing the best we can in this wicked time, knowing that, we got a target on our back. But hey, that's why we put our faith and our hope and our trust in YAHAWAH Shemel Shai. Because even with that target, he can't do nothing unless the Lord sanction it. And hey, and at the end of the day, hey, if the Lord will not build that number, guess what? It doesn't matter what they do. Because hey, what does it say? The dead in YAHAWAH Shai shall arise first. Right? So again, we know we're going to get the kingdom. If we endure to the end, we get the kingdom. Right? We know we're going to be in rulership. And that's what our focus is. We can't worry about what's going on in this world. We separate ourselves from that, because we want that glory that's going to be bestowed upon the men of the Lord, the elect. That's what we focused on. And Esau, Edom, and the other heathen nations can't stand it. But oh well. True men of the Lord are going to continue in that. Again, Lord will not be at that number. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakash. Lord willing, this video is edifying to the elect. Until next time, Shalom.